Okay, how are you? I'd like to thank Mr. Gift of Ostelos of the Triple C for putting me into light because I was in the dark. I didn't know. Remember, we did a video a few days ago, a prophetic video, when God asked the people in government about what they are doing in the platinum sector. And I was just talking, I was just making a video, and just suddenly the Holy Spirit just asked them, what are they doing in the platinum sector? And just God was angry. I could feel the anger of the Lord. And he came again and said, ask them, what are they doing in the platinum sector? So I didn't know what is happening in the platinum sector. I remember we read we went to Google to look at the news. Anyway, now I was listening to Mr. Ostelos from Triple C. He says that there is tax breaks. I was not aware of that these platinum mining firms that are given tax breaks, which means that taxation is unfair, and you know that the revenue source for the government is mainly coming from the mining sector. So if the cash cow of the country is led to go without paying tax, it's obviously immoral. Obviously, you know that if these big corporations are not paying tax, what are the people in government benefiting? Obviously, you could speculate that there is some kind of backdoor sharing of that money that was supposed to be for taxation, that money that was supposed to build roads, build clinics, build schools, develop the nation. You understand? So that is now I see why God was angry. And after I read on the internet, we didn't find this thing of tax breaks. And the Lord said, after I read, the Lord said, son, you are reading what you are reading, but I, as God, know what is going on. So I didn't know that there is something else that God wanted to tell me, but He didn't tell me. He just said that what the government is doing in the platinum sector, and the Lord was angry with it. So now I've come to the bottom of it. This is what the Lord was angry about. It's the tax breaks. It's amazing because in the past few days, me and the Lord we've been discussing about resuscitating the economy of Zimbabwe, and we've been looking at the mining industry as one of the flagship strategies of accumulating government revenue. You understand? So it goes in together with the Lord knowing that He needs the mining industry to work so that government might have enough coffers for other programs. And they are in the mining industry. The big cash cows that's supposed to provide for the fiscals are actually being given tax breaks, which is an obvious massive looting there. You see, it's saddening. It's really, 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 really saddening. I see that the Father, He just said, and what the people there are doing. You see, God is love, but let's not abuse His love, because He is a judge too. When God the judge comes, you will forget that God is love. You will say He is a devil. You will look like a devil when the time comes, when He passes the judgment. So they in the platinum sector, those companies that are being given tax breaks. Let me give you a word of warning from the Lord. The Lord is so angry that He's quiet. I've had a relationship with God for a long time. When He gets angry, He just keeps quiet. He doesn't want to go further. Meaning that whatever is in His mind, He doesn't want to tell me, because if He begins to speak Himself, His words can destroy people. His words can destroy nations. So He just kept quiet. Says, ask them what they're doing in the platinum sector. Just kept like that. Someone who just reserved, doesn't want to say anything, but you know that there's something that is deep, or that is on their mind. So I see it is those tax breaks, and it is a very, very, very sad situation in our country, and I hope that those that are involved in that can take this thing as a word of advice from the Lord, that if things do not happen accordingly to not happen properly, God is counting. You know, many takers. God is counting. 2, 3, 4. We will on a lousy day reach a certain boiling point, a certain point of no return, that it will be a slippery slope there forward, such that some people will not be able to hook back what they said or what they did, or not be able to undo certain things, because it will be too late and they'll be trapped. And remember, when God speaks like this, it means that He has already started a strategy of entrapping people that are involved. Hallelujah. Let me say this again. When God speaks like that, it means that there is already a strategy of entrapping the people that are involved. Do not think that you can be smarter than God. Okay. We humans have got that propensity to think that we are smarter than God, because the way that He operates with us, that He's usually reserved, silent. Even when He speaks, He will say, I'm angry at this thing, and then it looks like nothing is going to happen. Even if God said, I'm going to punish you, and then it looks like there's no punishment. Then you think that you got off the hook, but you really never did get off the hook. It's just that the nature of your trapping is beyond your scope of understanding, and therefore know very well that there is an entrapment somewhere for that. So the Lord said, quickly, platinum house. Yes, Lord. Father says, yes, the platinum house. It is a platinum house, the platinum. Riambo studies and Baribo Sakandara Labo Sakatara Labo. Shake the heavens, Holy Lord. Yes, so it says, shake the heavens, you shake the heavens. You are shaking that mining company. I see the Lord shaking that mining company. Yes, it is a beautiful mining company. Beautiful firm that anyone would like to own, says the Lord. A beautiful firm, it looks desirable to the eyes of investors. It looks desirable. God is showing me that these people, they have reserved for themselves this beautiful mining firm. Like it's a platinum mine, I think. Yeah, it looks like a platinum mine. And I see them with this big, beautiful one. Then there's this little scraps around for the rest of the people. The rest of the people, I see them with very little scraps. They are also doing platinum, but the Lord is showing me that they just have got little scraps. But then there's this beautiful house, this beautiful platinum house. This beautiful, it's a company, it's a business. Hallelujah. And they have reserved for themselves. Hallelujah. God is shaking something. God is shaking something. He says that this house looks so well established. Even themselves, they know that they are well established, because there is seams. God is showing me seams of this platinum or whatever. There's a seams of this mineral that they are mining them, and since it is deep, and they know that they are so rested, they knowing that nothing shall remove them. God is saying that they are saying that nothing will remove them. They are sitting there comfortably with that mining company, Rambostad, Ezembaribo. I see the Lord shaking. I see the Lord shaking. Shaking. Rabo Sakandar. Sort of like there is something, and in his shaking, it's going to cut the cord of this vein. Okay, like this cord I'm talking about is like a vein. Like a vein of something. It goes deep to the ground. So can you imagine if something has got how do I explain it? It's like a cord that is attached to this house that is on the ground, and this cord goes deep to the underground. So no matter how much you move the house, you cannot remove it, because it is connected to this very deep cord. It is connected to the depths of the earth. Therefore, it rests assured that no one is going to take it away from it, because it is deeply rooted to the depths of the earth. So therefore, and the Lord shaking it, and then as He shakes it, it actually begins to feel that okay, it is actually strong. Nobody can take it out, even the shaker can see that. But then the Lord is showing me something that you see. If it is a cord, let's show you. Let's say a cord like this, right? A cord like this. And then God shows me something that is sharp that comes to. It keeps on hitting it like this, like this. As it is hitting like this, it knows that it is connected to the depth of the earth. So nothing is going to take it off. You cannot pull it up, you cannot pull it sideways. But here's the trick. What I'm seeing is that these two things that are hitting this cord, God is showing me something sharp. This is sharp, like a knife. Okay. Alright. Sharp like a knife. As it is sharp, I see that the Lord is showing me that the more he keeps on doing this thing, this knife, this sharp, yes, is going to cut off this cord. Okay, the cord is going to be cut off. The cord will still remain to the ground, but it is going to be cut here. No one can see it. It's the shaking down like this. It keeps on cutting a little bit. They are hoping, the Lord is showing me, this is like a spiritual, graphic spiritual representation of what is happening physically. That this house of platinum, obviously, which is a conglomerate of platinum miners, government / private interests that work together to eliminate competition in the platinum industry by letting the rest of the people scramble for peanuts while they get the real mine, the rich resources, okay, the rich resources unto the selected few who are sort of like a cabal, and because they know that their influence and power is deeply entrenched to the depth of government and maybe even other outside governments and other banks or international banks, international mafia or something like that. Therefore, they feel safe that there is nothing that's going to happen to them. So the Lord is showing me that, as the Lord is showing me that, it says, yes, they are totally connected. But this thing, this wave that God is bringing, is going to be hitting like this until it's cut off that link. Okay, hold it. It's going to cut off that link. So they are feeling this shaking, but they're like, okay, this is nothing. This thing is just testing us. We are actually stronger. We're actually well connected. But the Lord is going to cut off the connection, because I see the thing that the Lord is using. So this is a spiritual graphic spiritual representation. There is no code anywhere that is physical. This is a graphic representation of something that is physical. Okay, so as the Lord just keeps on beating on this line, it's cutting little by little. It's cutting. Very soon it's gonna be completely cut off. Okay, so it's gonna be completely cut off, and they will not have access to that, whatever, whether it's government or international connection that they are bragging about. Yes, Lord. The Lord is saying they are bragging about it. They are bragging about this international connection or national connection with government. Like that they have got all the artillery. God says they say that they have got all the adequate artillery and they are well fed. And God is saying, yes, you are right. You do have the adequate artillery. You're not wrong. God is saying that your assessment is not wrong. It's perfect. It's correct. God agrees with you. However, the Lord is rocking the house. Listen, there's this rocking back and forth by God. And this rocking back and forth, it looks like it's useless. It looks like it's not going to do anything. God is saying that these people, they can see this rocking. They can see that something wants to remove them. But then this thing that wants to remove them is very light and very small and useless. Our Lord says that all of a sudden, it's like this here. Look at this perfect example. See, this thing you can remove. It's going to be like, cut off. If it's suddenly cut off now, the whole international relations, the whole financing, that infrastructure that finances that structure, the political acumen and connections involved in it are going to be cut off from this mining house. Okay, so this mining house that the Lord is showing me, and it shall be exposed. And since this thing is working, obviously when it's already cut off, it's going to hit it and it's going to go and fall over. It will be just like the end of it. It's going to be the crash. Okay, so I can predict that there's going to be a crash in a mining house. Okay, a mining operation of some sort that is made up of people, private sector, people in government, and other interests, other vested interests that believe that they are strong and they are so well connected. And God is saying, yes, you are right. You are strong and you are well connected, and nothing can remove you. Yes, you are right. Yet you did not consider my ways. Okay. The Lord said, you do not consider the ways of the Lord, because God has got many ways of dealing with you, including this little rocking. It looks like it's very little, it looks like it's insignificant, because you think that you have covered your whole house. You think that you are safe, you have covered yourself, and therefore you are safe to do as you please, to keep taking advantage of my people. I hear the Lord say that great Dyke son is a bone of contention. The great Dyke, says the Lord, is a bone of contention. The competition is tight there for the great Dyke, for the resources in the great Dyke. The competition is so tight. To be able to enter, the door that opens is very small, like this. God is showing me very small door of entry. Just to enter is a very tiny door in order for you to enter. Otherwise, it is actually locked. It's just locked for the few that are in there. The few that are which they believe that the big ones, that big guns of Zimbabwe, here the Lord say, they believe they are the big guns. Says this Lord God is showing me these fat people, these men, big men, they've got big bodies. They look fat and they are sitting comfortable, in chairs, in heavy chairs. And God is showing me that these people, they are calling themselves the Zimplau. What is Zimplau? God is showing me Zimplau. Anyway, Zimplau, Zitarabo Shakandara Labori Bushi Kandara Laboria Busandara Labo. But I think Zimplau has got to do with agriculture. But then God is showing me that these people, they believe that they are the owners of Zimbabwe, or they believe that they are so well established in the country that nothing evil can happen to them, no evil can befall them, Varimadara, that's what they say to themselves. Varimadara, like they are just like, okay, who are you? You cannot do anything to us. And they are sitting, resting comfortably. I see some of them in Malaysia, Horibo Center. I see them outside the country, Rabo Sakara, in holidaying outside the country and relaxed and looking at Zimbabwe, thinking of Zimbabwe as their investment, as their mining house, whereby they are mining wealth. And they're just sitting there between them, the Asians, they are mixing and mingling with white people, they, trying to look like they are righteous people, and then they're enjoying the countries that were built by other children. Other countries build their countries. Then they destroy the country where they are from, because they don't view it as a country, by the way. This is what the Lord is showing me. God is taking me to the mind of these people. They do not view Zimbabwe as a country. They view it as it's like a tin mine. I've got my mine there. The mine is called Zimbabwe. This is not a country. They don't view themselves even as citizens of that country. They view it as just a place to make money. And they view the people like, the Lord is showing me that they view the people as ants, like unnecessary ants, Ants, you don't really want to kill them, but if they step on your toes, what do you do with ants when they step on your toes, that's biting you? You rub them off, you kill them. You don't care whether they die or they don't die, but you are just killing them because they are annoying you. They are just ants. Alright, they're in your territory. But I remember growing up in the rural areas, there used to be a lot of ants, especially those ants that bite. When you walk, in the bushes, then you step on their line, wherever they are, they ride over you. But you, as a human being, you think that the land is a territory, but you're actually entering the territory of the ants. So the ants need to bite you. It's their territory as well. But then we think that because we are humans, we have got all the rights. So God is showing me that these people, they look at Zimbabweans as ants, unnecessary ants. They don't mind Zimbabweans actually. It's not like they are murderers. It's not like they want to kill Zimbabweans. No, they don't. Just like you do not want to kill an ant. You don't really care. You're indifferent about an ant, whether the ant lives or it does not live. They're indifferent. So the Lord is showing me that these people in their minds, the Zimbabweans, they view them as ants. They are very indifferent. They really don't care. They only would care if you try to come and disturb them. They feel like you are disturbing their territory, their thing. So they are very dismissive. Thank you, Holy Spirit. It says the word that they use when it comes to Zimbabweans is dismissive. They are very dismissive of ordinary people. When you were to approach them and ask them, but you guys are rich, your people are suffering, they are very dismissive. Like they have got, God is showing me that they have managed to build these lies that they now believe. Okay, that justify their riches in a poor country. Like, okay, the world is unfair anyway. It's kind of like those people that will, if you ask them of their sins, they're just telling you about the United States. Oh, America is also corrupt. America also did this. We were not asking you about America. We're asking you about you. You understand? So it's like that. It's like, okay, that's how the world is like. Yes, Lord is saying that's what they say, son. If you ask them, they say even America does this, even in America that. But America is a country, it's a proper country. The proper country. Don't tell me about the corruption of the military-industrial complex in the United States. It's a country. There's education. There's everything. There's a proper economy. There's a proper society. Okay, in Zimbabwe, we don't have a proper society. It's completely destroyed. So these people will go say that you cannot really reach to them, like by argument, by trying to show them that they are wrong. They've come to rest on this word that the world is run by cartels anyway. You know, but some cartels are good. Yes, the world is run by cartels, but they care for the people that are under them. They care for the people in that nation. They do something to keep a nation, or make a nation, and they are proud of where they belong, and they have got nationhood. If you go to Singapore and Malaysia, there to eat the Zimbabwean money, there's somebody in Singapore who actually built that nation. There's Singaporeans who built their nation, who sacrificed to make it a country. When you go there as a tourist to buy expensive houses there, thinking that you're just gonna live there, on the work, on the sweat of other men. And when you, in the house that you are coming from, that mining house that the Lord is showing me, is showing me a mining house. The mining house that is there in Zimbabwe, and then you think that okay, nothing is going to happen to you. You're indifferent about that. God is showing me now. He's saying that you see that cord that links you between Zimbabwe and Singapore, wherever you are. Singapore, I'm saying Singapore, Malaysia, wherever you are, going to Galavant there. God is saying He's going to cut that cord whilst you are wearing a short with your balls exposed, and that cord there that goes to Harare. God is just gonna cut it. You're gonna cut it. One of these days, you'll be stranded in Malaysia. You will not be able to go back to your country. The cord is going to be cut whilst you are gallivanting in the sun, wearing a little short next to a swimming pool, sipping a martini, whatever you'll be sipping. That cord that links you, that directly links you to the money that is in Zimbabwe, God is just suddenly going to cut it. And it's going to happen very soon. So this is prophetic, and it is prophetic, meaning it's a prophetic warning. Meaning, if you don't want it to happen, you actually change course and do right, therefore, and do right by the Lord. And therefore, He will relent on His plans to destroy you, and then He will show you the right way, the right strategy of being a proper mafia. There is a way of being a proper mafia that cares about other people. Don't tell me about that America is a mafia. America is a proper country. Understand? It's a proper country. Even Russia itself is a proper country. You can talk about the Russian oligarchs all you want, but it's a proper country. It's a proper country. There's state institutions that work, a banking system that can be trusted, that works. There's a transportation system that works, an education system that works. Government institutions, they work together. Hallelujah. And work well with other governments. They build something. They build something. They take pride in building their nation and making sure that it actually is a nation. Unlike these ones in Zimbabwe that the Lord is showing me, they are completely unmoved, God is showing me, completely unmoved, unnerved at what they are doing. They feel like ndezwavo izvi kovanhu ndezvavo izvi tipinda paizvo. So because of this kind of attitude, this carefree attitude, and the fact that the world looks like it is silent and like there's nothing going on, you have got no idea that when you think that you are safe in the world. Let me give you a physical advice. Like, do you know that in Zimbabwe we have got what is it? This new technology. This what are these minerals that we use for the new batteries, for the cell phone batteries? Lithium. All right. And the whole platinum group of metals. Now, since they are rare and they're in high demand, the world is going to look at Zimbabwe and want order there, and they discover that the people that are there are doing what they do. God is showing me that, well, they got that covered, son. Don't worry about it. Even that, they actually work with those people that are in that industry, in the lithium battery industry. They work with them. They feel safe. They feel safe. They feel like those guys in the lithium industry won't touch them. I was gonna say that, but then God just corrected me and said, no, don't think even those guys in the lithium industry, the Chinese and the Europeans, they work with these people. That is why these people sit in Malaysia relaxed, because they think like, okay, Europeans like us, Chinese like us, Americans like us, we work with them. We're just taking the resources from the Zimbabweans, and they do not know that God is planning another plan. And God, the plan of God will destroy even the Americans, even the Europeans and the Chinese that are robbing Zimbabwe. Don't play. Don't think that God is afraid of the Americans. No. No. God is not afraid even of the most powerful person on earth, the richest group, the safest one on earth. I don't know what they call themselves, whoever they are. Even them, the Holy Spirit has got a plan for them. He's got a way of entrapping them. If they do not do that which God says they must do, if that which is righteous and fair to the people of God, I feel like God doesn't mind the existence of these cartels. I see now. It's not like he's reluctant even in punishing cartels because they are cartels, but God is observant at how you treat his people, therefore, and he's always on the side of his people, defending his defenseless people. There's obviously secrets to the reasons why he lets cartels seem like they're prospering. It's way beyond the scope of our understanding at this juncture. But what I'm telling you is that the benevolence and love he has for his little ones, his unsuccessful ones, powerless ones, poor ones, defeated ones, is on another level. Meaning that when you arrested and when it looks like he's doing nothing, it's just that the trap that he's setting is much bigger than you thought. And you yourself, you would relax thinking that everything is okay, yet the web that is being built around you is so big that one day when it is revealed to you, you'll be surprised that what? All along I thought I was smart. I thought I was smarter than God. Only to discover that no, you are not. He was working on another league. You were working on Vela League. He was working on La Liga, doing stuff that is beyond your comprehension, and will chop you off in a way that you never expected. So, holy is the Lord. Good evening.